So I chose the Never Again Foundation because it took such a different approach on the law than I had ever seen before. It was so integrated. It took what I knew about criminal law, what I knew about civil law, civil procedure, and it put it all together, and it made a story out of the law.
And that's one excellent part of the foundation for externs, is that you are going to have the opportunity to look at civil law, criminal law, family law, and even last week I was working with probate law, now that we mention it. So it's been just a great comprehensive, across the board, very broad experience.
My experience here at the foundation has been phenomenal. I had no legal experience prior to coming to intern at the Never Again Foundation, and I have had the availability to be exposed to a variety of court systems, a variety of remedies available to the clients. I've got to see what it's like for attorneys to think creatively and outside of the box, in addition to having the opportunity to write motions and actually interact with the clients as opposed to just doing research in the back room.
It's very education friendly. They want you to learn, they want you to grow.
Helping people and using the law to help people. It wasn't a matter of billable hours, of winning. You don't have to be a pit bull as an attorney. It taught me, it confirmed a lot of things that I wanted to believe about the law, that you didn't have to approach it in just one way. There's another side to it that still is effective and probably more effective.
It's been a lot of fun to be a part of. The cases that are involved here that they get their hands in, I mean, most of them are very high profile, 60 minutes, 2020 type of things, Dateline. And so it's a lot of, it's very exciting to be part of those types of cases. And
it was unbelievable to be able to work on cases that I watched on 2020 and Dateline and 60 Minutes, because these were cases that I'd heard and had encouraged me to go to law school. These were the reason that I got passionate about serving the justice system and serving those who truly need it. And walking in the door the first day and seeing the cases that the Never Again Foundation works on and the people that they help, it was like being a kid in a candy store.
The way I felt about the work was that it was extremely emotionally and mentally stimulating, because the work that they do is just so different and it's unlike anything that everybody else does.
The environment at the Never Again Foundation is something that I think I've never experienced before. It was so welcoming, supportive, encouraging. We're all about practice ready and experience, and we're willing to let me, as a first year law student, the summer between my first and second year, get involved in cases. I was able to participate in settlement conferences. I was able to write motions, and I never felt scared or worried about what I was doing or whether it was right or wrong, because their guidance and support and encouragement lasted the entire way through. And I felt like with them, I could do no wrong, and I was truly serving the population that needed it.
It was exactly what I thought it would be or hoped it would be, meaning I truly believe that all the staff and everyone who works at the Never Again Foundation truly believes in the work that they do, that they are led by their heart, and that because they are led by their heart, their legal work is much better than they could ever be, or than it could ever be with just their minds.
I think what I enjoyed most was the atmosphere and the different types of projects I was able to work on.
I was given the opportunity to just take my best stab at them and then sit down with Keith and review them, and I was pleased that we didn't have to make too many changes.
it really opened my eyes to how the law works, and not just how the law works, but what can be done with the law if you're trying to really do something good and to do it for the right reasons. Doors will open.
For me, it has been perfect. I went in looking for a little more confidence in my abilities, and I have to say I wrote one motion that I was not very proud of, but the feedback on it was so helpful that even though I don't think I did a good job with it, we were able to build it into something that was presentable to the court.
I enjoyed most the ability to take a case and work it as if I were the lead attorney.
The students that come to work at the foundation are working in an associate capacity. They're gaining real experience that will translate to their own practice, whether they move into a firm, small or large, or they end up hanging their own shingle. They're going to have a good base of knowledge, a good base of how things operate, from client intake to family law, civil litigation, criminal law, probate. Across the board, they're going to have a good experience of how things work out there, how to work with the courts, and how to work with other attorneys and with clients.
I've never really met anybody like Keith who he pours his heart and soul into this foundation, this program. He lives and breathes this program, and he's the heart and soul behind what we do. He inspires all of us to want to do better and to be better and to find creative solutions to help other people not only be better but be able to move on with their lives, whether it's through healing with the law or just being able to get out of a bad situation and move on. And he's always available to us, whether it's an intern or whether it's actual employees that work here. He's always available no matter what time of day it is. If we ever get hung up on something, he's always available to us. And very, very enjoyable to work with Keith. He genuinely cares about the people that work at the foundation.
I enjoyed every bit of interning at the Never Again Foundation. My exposure to the court systems, to attorneys who are doing what feels right for the right reasons, who are motivated by truth and justice as opposed to money. And the writing experience that I got here is invaluable. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced before or even been exposed to in law school.
I absolutely would recommend a position at the Never Again Foundation for an internship. It's wonderful. The stuff that you're doing, nobody else is going to have those experiences that you have. It's completely different, and you take so much more away from it. It's hands-on, it's research, you're using people skills, you're using your legal skills, and it's just a full spectrum experience.
It was very demanding, it was intimidating, but it was one of the best experiences that I've had in life, certainly as a law school student.
I found the Never Again Foundation to be a perfect fit. It felt right, in Keith's words. They embodied everything that I hoped to do and wanted to do. They were driven for the right reasons, they weren't money motivated, and they were helping the people that truly needed it.
What a wonderful experience it has been as an extern. I've learned so much. I've experienced broad ranges of areas of practice. I've worked on my writing skills, my synthesis and research skills. It's been challenging, but in the best way possible.
I think that there's a lot of excitement that's growing around the internship opportunities at Never Again. When students heard what I was able to do over the summer, a lot of them were really jealous and they were envious because they just didn't get that in their placements. And because of that, I had a lot of people ask, well, how do I get a position at the Never Again Foundation?
I'm actually very interested in focusing on this area of law now after working at the Never Again Foundation. Prior to coming to law school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, what area I wanted to practice in. I only knew that I wanted to help people that truly needed it. And after working at the Never Again Foundation and seeing the values and the principles and the morals that Keith and have instilled into the Never Again Foundation and into their interns, I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be.